Hi guys! So today I wanted to discuss how you can feel successful within your own life and how you can stop the constant comparing yourself to people who have made it, and maybe even shift your perspective on what success as a whole means to you, leading you to feel more fulfilled in your own life. Now, I'm going to tell you one thing you cannot rely on, and that is luck. You cannot sit there and wait around for something to fall out the sky. How often do you tell yourself that life has given you a bad hand? Have you ever felt like life's given you such a bad hand, they owes you a favour, and you just sit around and you wait for this favour to come because it can't be that bad all the time? So I might as well just sit around and wait until it does get good, because it is sure to. Now, I hate to tell you this, I feel like it's going to be quite blunt, but life does not owe you anything. And these big breaks out of doing absolutely nothing is so incredibly rare, if not completely false at all. However, do not let this fact get you down. If anything, use this as the start or the push towards actually creating a meaningful and fulfilling life for yourself. I'm going to give you your own formula you can apply to your life to create your own deal of good luck, if you can even call it that. I'll tell you right now, you do not get something for nothing, and I feel like that is a fact a lot of us need to submerge into our minds. And see, a lot of successful people and people in the spotlight make it seem like that this is the way that they did get there, but this is only to make themselves appear greater than they actually are. Because if you're just born with this sort of popularity, I feel like the sense of mystery just accentuates how special you are. So this is just a technique to make them more alluring and attractive to an audience, because I promise you, they also have embarrassing moments just like you. You just don't know about them because they don't talk about them. They like to appear as naturally gifted or chosen by some higher being. This is literally just to build a separation between you and them. That gap is what makes them special. That separation is what makes them so much higher than you. However, on the other end of this, this gives you your own limiting beliefs, and it creates your barriers of you're not good enough, and if you just weren't born special, you're not special. But that just is not the case. They make you feel as if you are not capable of achieving the same feats that they have, but I'm here to tell you that you are. Don't get me wrong, some people are blessed with advantages, whether that being they can naturally run faster, jump higher, or they have the right muscles in the right places, or maybe they were born in the right environment, so they know the right people, they can befriend the right people, they can get more opportunities just from where they're based. And I'm not discrediting any of these. However, the situation you were born into cannot be changed. Unfortunate as it is, it cannot be changed. So there is all these external things around you that you blame for the way you are internally. It's so pointless. I'm not saying this to put you down. I'm saying this to sort of open your eyes to the fact that no matter how bad hands life has dealt you, it will do absolutely nothing beneficial for you to keep making that comparison of life could have been better. Instead, you need to make the active steps to make it better. Your only option you have now is to create the life you wish to live. Now, how do we do this? Unfortunately, there are no shortcuts. There are no quick fixes. I feel like a lot of people really focus on these fads and just spend so much time on them when they are just time wasted. They either actually perform them or they spend their life searching for something that will give it to them quickly. But think about how much time you've spent searching. Could you have not spent that time doing? Even if you were to get anywhere with these fads, there is nothing that will beat the skill and experience that is made through doing. It is your most valuable resource. Think about it, because if anything was to, God forbid, go wrong, because honestly, no matter how successful you get, there are going to be slip-ups along the way that are going to push you down a few levels. And if you have no experience and no knowledge to build yourself back up, even if you go down one level, you're going to trickle. You're going to go right back to where you started, and then you would have gained absolutely nothing for it. Maybe you would have got some money or whatever you wanted out of that situation in the first place, but nothing in this life beats the experience and the skill. If you make yourself a more valuable person through skills, experience, and knowledge you've gained, that makes you the kind of person that can do it all again. And that is what makes you a successful person in the long run, in your entire life. They are the building blocks that pave you into saving yourself over and over and over again. And these building blocks even help other people. So what is success? I think Earl Nightingale said it best in his quote that success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. The word progression not only means that it is going to take time, but it also means the journey itself is the success. It is the exploration of doing and the person you become on your own personal road of life. It also means if it is the journey itself, your ideal may change. And even in your own life, there are endless turns you can take, and there's even plot twists that you did not see coming at all. I feel like once people come to these turns and come to the plot twists, or they have to restart because they're not enjoying what they're doing anymore, they take that as an excuse to give up, and they just see it as pointless. But the whole point of the success is that journey. If you have to switch up something because you don't enjoy it anymore, that's fine. Enjoyment is so much more valuable than personal talents, because talents, they can be gained. You can practice something over and over again and you can become good at anything. Even if you do become financially successful at something you don't enjoy, you can enjoy the luxuries of it. And honestly, if more of your life is that luxury, go ahead. That is not what I'm saying. You can also be a success through that. However, if you spend 99% of your time in a job that you don't enjoy, but you make a lot of money for it, are you really a success? Do you think successful people don't enjoy their everyday life? And if they feel they have no meaning behind their work, are they really successful? You could be incredible at anything, but if you don't have that passion for its continuation in the first place, you're not going to carry on. If you're only just starting, you could be incredible at something, but it is that spark inside, the ignition, that is going to keep you going. It's the passion that's going to keep you going. A worthy ideal is anything personal to you which gives your own life meaning. Nobody can give you the answer to that. No one, apart from yourself. The only way you're going to get there is through experience, through trial and error. And it is important to expand your mind and expand your knowledge in life, because we are only limited to our perspective. We are only limited to everything we've learned and everything we know. So the more you know and the more space you have in your brain, the more likely you are to see these opportunities and to get new ideas to who you are. So if you keep up with this constant expansion, new ideas and opportunities are guaranteed to appear, because you don't know what you're looking for. You don't know what you're looking for. And you can expand your mind through stillness and meditation, because our brains are so stuffed with stuff, with constant media. We always feel like we need to be doing something, but our brain only has so much room. Like, we can only think about so many things at one time. And if we're stuffing it with random nonsense that doesn't deserve a minute of our time, we don't have room for our own self-discovery at all. We don't have room for new ideas. We don't have room for, seeing something and actually reflecting on it and taking it in, because we're thinking about so many things that it's making us brain dead. Like, it's having the complete opposite effect of, thinking so much and highly. You can't have that many thoughts at once. You just can't. Even if you have a song stuck in your head, does that ever get on your nerves so much that you can't even think straight? Think about how if you're scrolling through so many videos in 10 minutes? That's all in your brain, and you don't even remember it because it's brain dead. You're going brain dead. Not you personally, but that's just what it's doing. So stillness, meditation, keep expanding. If you keep letting that room in for new ideas, boredom is so important. And these moments of looking after ourselves are so important to know what we enjoy. We are fed what to enjoy. That's what trends are. That's why people buy the things they do and do the things they do. And that is exactly what an influencer is. They're influencing you to think a certain way and do certain things. And nothing wrong with that. But it is just, you need to experience your own life. You need to stop watching other people's and live for yourself. And if you are to consume medias, make sure it's something that is beneficial for your future. And I'm not saying everything you do every day has to be learning. But if you're uneducated to what it is you're looking for, you're not going to see it when it's right in front of you. You're just not going to see it because you don't know what you're looking for. When you learn new things, you see the entire world differently. Hindsight is a beautiful thing. If you look back to a situation, there's so many situations you would do things differently, and that is because you have learnt. There is abundance everywhere, to get spiritual, there is abundance everywhere. We have never had so much access to everything, to absolutely everything, and yet we're more stuck than we've ever been before. Luck is being at the right place, at the right time, with the right knowledge on how to apply yourself. Luck is just alignment. When things work in your favor, that is because everything has lined perfectly. And these situations are everywhere. And that is exactly how you hear about these big breaks. It's because successful people got an opportunity, but that is because they were ready for this opportunity and you just didn't hear about all the work that went into it in the first place. So don't be alarmed and don't feel like you're behind and don't feel like if luck is just not coming to you. All it is that you have so much more life to live and so many more things to do. Once this ideal has been found, and once you've found what you enjoy, I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. You've just got to do it again and again and again. And you've got to surround yourself with it. You become something not by your words, not by who you think you are, but by the actions you take every day. The actions you take in private, the actions you take on your downtime, the actions you take whether it's counteracting something that you've told yourself to be. If you go around saying that you are so educated on this topic, or you go around saying that you're so strong and this and that, if you don't go to the gym and if you don't study in your downtime, you are not that person. You're just not. You are what you give your time and attention to. Time and attention are your most valuable currencies in all of life, because these are the two things that we have which are limited. We've only got a limited amount of time and a limited amount of attention we can give things to. You become what you surround yourself with, what you're taking in every day, and what you're giving out. That is all you are, is the information you are fed in, and what you create from that and what you splurge out is who you become. Is who you become. You are guaranteed success in whatever it is that you want if you just surround yourself with it and if you just produce. Because to be great at something, to be known as great, you have to be great at what you do. To be successful, it is hard. That's the point. That's why people excel and propel themselves up to these standards that it feels unattainable, but the reason why they're great is because they've done something that other people haven't done and they don't take the time to do. You know, you just have to take the time to do it. And if you don't want to be, grinding all the time, this is not what I'm saying, okay? I'm not saying grind, hustle. That's not my mentality. It's not study 24/7, do this 24/7, but it's just be aware of what you're feeding yourself and what you're putting out there. Doesn't have to be loads. You don't have to be working yourself to the point of exhaustion and, not enjoying what you do. But you have to be true to what you say you are and what you want to be. You have to become the success that you're seeking on the external. You have to become it. As within, so without. Grind is important, working is important, but it's what you feed yourself with. If you've got an hour to spare, if you're just scrolling on your phone, if you're doing things that don't align with the person you want to be, then you're not that person. You're not that person. So just take pride in every step you take and practice mindfulness, because if you practice mindfulness, you become aware of what you're doing and you're not so much on autopilot, because 95% or some number of what we do every day is our subconscious. So you don't even know what you're doing. But if you practice stillfulness, you gain more control over your everyday because you're making your mind more disciplined. Train your mind just as you train your body. And now I'm going to get on to the spiritual requirements. So the mindset you've got to have. The major one is self-belief. If you don't believe you can do it, no one else is going to believe you can do it, because what you're putting out there, the energy you put out there, people can sense it, okay? Believe it or not, they do. If you radiate some confidence, you're persuading people to have that exact same confidence towards you, because your impression of yourself is what their impression of you is going to be. So if you're saying, oh yeah, I do this and I do that, but you don't truly believe it, I promise you, they can feel that. You have to just radiate that positivity. And also, if you believe that you can, it will attract situations into your life proving you can, because you, again, have the mindfulness to see, oh yeah, I can do that, I'm going to do it. And then you do it, and then more steps come along the way. But everything starts in the mind. You have to have that mindset that you can do it. And if you do believe you can do it, you're going to be so much more comfortable putting yourself out there, which will attract things to work in your favour. And the final point I want to make is release your attachment to the outcome. And I know that sounds counterintuitive. However, have you ever felt like things happen when you least expect it? It is because if you are attached to the outcome, if you can't live your life without this thing that you don't have yet. If you base your entire life upon it, you are putting out this energy of desperation. And if you have this vibration of desperation, the universe only says yes to you. So let me try and map this out for you. You are putting out an energy of, I don't have this thing. I want this thing. I don't have this thing. That is not the same as I'm confident in myself because I know this is coming for me, or I already have it. Because again, as within, so without. If you are desperate for something, that is an energy of lack. That is an energy of not having. Okay, so just flip that round. Even if you don't believe it, you have it now, believe that it's coming for you. It's in your future. It will calm you down, and it is more confidence to empower your self-belief. So, you know, it just spirals. It just snowballs into your favor, which is exactly what you need to do. And just think to yourself, what is a version of yourself who is sure they can make it? What are they going to do? What are they going to do daily? So act with the confidence that it's already yours. Make sure your actions match up to it. Don't just lay back, like, wait for it to happen. A person who it has happened to would still work for it, because that's how they keep what they have. So just act like you've got it and just keep working as if this is the life you're going to live, because it is the life you're going to live. So what is a person who is so sure of themselves? What are they going to do? How are they going to act? What is their most important task of the day? What are they going to focus their time and their energy to? Even if my views are incorrect, and if chances do fall from heaven, why are you waiting? Why are you waiting? Luck is not guaranteed, and it is just as guaranteed as risk it is. So why are you just sitting around waiting for these external circumstances and life, which is so unpredictable, to make these decisions for you? You know, you need to get some control over it. And even if it doesn't work out, which it will, but if in your head it won't, there is nothing more valuable than the skill and experience of living life, of just living it in the first place. If you don't make millions and millions of pounds like you foresaw like years ago, you will. But if you don't, you will have lived, you know, you would have lived a life, and you wouldn't be living in fear, and you'll find other things that bring you enjoyment. Stop living in fear. Seriously, like, this is my whole thing of my whole channel. You need to you stop living in fear. Erase fear. Get rid of it, because it's pointless. It's so pointless. And these limiting beliefs and these fears do not affect the external. They just affect you. Pointless. 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 Along the way, you get little wins that you can carry out throughout your whole of life and push you into doing these bigger and better things. It's just constant evolution. The more you do, the more you evolve. So I'll finish this video by saying, you only fail when you stop trying. And it's not over till it's over. If you want it to be over, then it's over. But I don't recommend that. I do not recommend that. But thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that I've impacted you in some way, or you've taken something from this that hopefully will bring a bit of sense or a bit of encouragement. You know, make sure to let me know. And if you have any interest in this painting as well behind me, my email's in the description. My Substack's also in there. I post basically the same videos I put on here, but it's in essay form, wherever you prefer to consume your media and what's more comfortable for you. But I would also love to hear your opinions. So if there's anything you'd like to say or like to see, let me know. But again, thank you so much for watching.